as shown here, $19,629,143.42. Grand total, $550,135,691.86. Submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
I make a motion that the treasury report is received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. The treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second to accept all non-legislative business. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will go to our recognition resolutions. Councilmember Fields.
Thank you. Everybody can come up, please. Thank you, Mr. President. So, if everybody doesn't know, this is, I call them my police officers because they're always in the community. They're always there no matter what. And I know that they may be in other areas, but when I'm out and I'm riding in my car with my baseball cap on, I could be on a baseball cap. I could be dressed up. When they see me, they speak, they call me when there's something going on in my neighborhood. So I wanted to let them know that I appreciate you all very, very much. Everybody here, I just really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to the budget in 2026, right? 2026 to add some more officers to your unit. That is key for me, and that's what I'm working towards. So I'm going to read the resolution. Sponsored by Councilmember Brigida Fields and other council members. Whereas it is the sense of City Council to honor individuals and organizations who have demonstrated outstanding achievement and deserving of recognition and acknowledgement, Councilmember Fields, would like to commend the Wilmington Police Department Community Engagement Unit. And whereas the Community Engagement Unit, CEU, launched in 2023 under the leadership of Chief Alfredo Campos, that's my guy. The CEU consists of two supervisors and officers representing each of Wilmington's 9 police districts. Each of these officers work proactively to build and maintain meaningful partnerships with community members and local stakeholders. And whereas the CEU officers attend community meetings to hear residents' concerns and share safety information, identify and address quality of life issues, and conduct outreach activities. The CEU officers participate in monthly community resource fairs, Coffee with a Cop, and weekly community outreach walks. They also work diligently to connect individuals with resources and non-law enforcement partners to address their unique circumstances. And whereas since its inception, the CEU has facilitated access to vital support services for individuals and households. Their achievements include working with the Delaware Department of Health and Social Services and other organizations distribute community resources, distribute community resources, including access to shower and laundry services, food boxes, freshly prepared meals, state identification cards, haircuts, and employment opportunities. When heat advisories are in effect, the CEU officers are important. They are integral to ensuring that individuals experiencing homelessness have transportation to cooling centers. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that this council is pleased to recognize the Wilmington Police Department Community Engagement Unit and its dedicated officers for their service to the residents of the City of Wilmington. Job well done. And I just want to say I really truly appreciate it.
Good evening. First of all, thank you, Council President Congo, Councilwoman Fields, and all the other members of Congress, all the other members of Council who thought it would be a nice gesture to recognize us for our work we're doing in the city. I want to thank Chief Campos, Major Hall, who saw fit to have Lieutenant Bozeman and myself lead this group of individuals in the city. And if I could just acknowledge the ones that are present tonight. We have Master Corporal Flores, Master Corporal Schultz, Corporal Harmon, Corporal Gordon, Corporal Banks, and Master Corporal Petrucci. So all these events that Councilwoman Fields stated, you know, it wouldn't be possible without these men and women under our command. So I want to thank them, acknowledge them again, and thank you all for this recognition. Thank you.
Council Member McCoy.
Thank you. I just would like to say, when I finally started to have a real relationship with the police officers, it was basically through the community policing unit initially. I was so pleased that Chief Campos thought that it was a great idea to bring back engagement. Well, now you have a new name, Community Engagement Unit. It is phenomenal to see the residents in the area really connect with our officers. They know who our officers are. You know, when you ask if you've made a call, they were like, "Oh yeah, I already talked to them." So the job that you're doing is great. I really appreciate you, not only you, but also your sector captain. But everyone is always in touch. Y'all are always connected with our leaders, and I could really appreciate the job that you're doing. Thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Council Member Harlee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I want to just echo the sentiments of both my council member colleagues, Council Member Fields. Thank you for this recognition, as well as Council Member McCoy, regarding all of the new initiatives that have already been mentioned and implemented. And I too want to say that they are doing an excellent job. All of the officers that I run into over in Southbridge, Trinity vicinity, the East Side, they are very relatable. They are engaging. They interact, and the residents in the communities that I represent are very happy about them being more engaging and the work that they're doing. So I do want to commend Chief Campos, Major Hall. I want to give a shout out to Petrucci, because he's one of the ones that I run into a lot, and we talk about the things that we need to talk about. If there are any concerns, he is always very open about how we can move forward and how we can resolve them. And lastly, I want to thank them for attending the Civic Association meetings in the 4th District. And again, thank you and congratulations on this recognition.
Yeah, I would like to, guess first of all, just thank you, Chief. You know, we all know who you are and what you bring to the, to the police department. And before you were chief, we knew, what you brought to your community. And you being a chief was, again, an awesome selection, because this is a result. And again, I've said it before, and I just hope that whoever our next mayor is has the intelligence to keep you on, because I just think that this is just the beginning for you and your department. Definitely want to thank all the community officers. You guys are making, and ladies are making, a tremendous difference in the city. I always get comments about your engagement and with the with the citizens, with the business community. So just keep up the great work. I know there are a few who are missing, but still, you guys are doing great. You guys are an awesome representation of your department. Thank you. I would also like to recognize from all of council the Latin American Community Center Hispanic Heritage Month. Also from all of council, recognizing Shane Johnson. From Councilmember Cabrera, this will happen at a later date, but she is going to recognize the Hispanic Heritage Month. And also from Councilmember Spadola, which will come at a later date, he is going to recognize Jimmy Thompson. And then as far as sympathy resolutions from all of council, a sympathy resolution for Glenn Hamilton from Councilmember Cabrera, a sympathy resolution for Nathaniel Julious Johnson from Councilmember Fields, a sympathy resolution for Willis J. Garnett Jr., and from Councilmember Harlee, a sympathy resolution for Marquetta Lewis. At this time, we will move into our public comment portion of this evening's meeting. Again, for anyone who is in council chambers, please remember to introduce yourself once you come up to the podium. You have 3 minutes. I will give you a friendly reminder when there are 30 seconds left. So once I give that reminder, please kindly wrap up your comments. For anyone who is virtual, I'm not sure if anyone has signed up yet, but if anyone does, again, once you are recognized, please remember to introduce yourself. And just as a friendly reminder, there can be no political solicitation during public comments. First, I'd like to call Deacon Earl Tate, the second. Thank you for joining us, Deacon Tate, and please remember to introduce yourself.
Greetings. My name is Deacon Earl E. Tate II, and I'm here to say two things. First thing is we're living in a generation. This generation that we're living in is a generation that is brain damaged and all because they have no respect for themselves. They have no respect for others. They go against the laws. They go against the go against their parents and everything. They go against their teachers. They carry guns, which they're not supposed to, and all. And plus they have no sense of wisdom, no sense of knowledge, because they're all the time looking for confusion. As the temptation say, a ball of confusion. But we got to learn how to stand up as parents and adults. We got to learn how to stand up and take our responsibility back in raising these kids, because if we don't, there won't be no next generation, because they have killed each other. So we got to learn how to stand up and take pride in ourselves and take pride, because if you don't, they're already killing each other, racing down the streets with no sense of pride and everything. So we got to stop them right then and there, because if we don't, they won't be here no more. The second thing is we got to stand up for our rights. As Malcolm X said, it's the ballot or the bullet. The ballot is to stand up and make yourself known, because you are individuals, and you do have the right to speak up for yourself. The bullet is when you sit down and do nothing but just sit there, and when you sit there, you take the bullet. So what is it going to be, the ballot or the bullet? You got to remember, you got to stand up for your rights, because if you don't, what will the next generation have to look up to?
You have 30 seconds.
We got to stand up and take pride in ourselves. Amen. Amen. And
Thank you.
and don't forget to get out here and vote and show your pride.
Thank you. Next, we have Tony Lewis. And thank you, Mr. Lewis, for joining us. Please remember to introduce yourself once you reach the podium.
Thank you.
And I will give you a 30. You're welcome. I'll give you a 30-second friendly reminder. Thank you.
name is Tony. My name is Tony Lewis. I live on Clifford Brown Walk. I just want to piggyback on what I spoke about last Thursday. Councilwoman Fields, I mean no disrespect to you.
Excuse me,
I don't know
Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis, please don't direct any of your comments towards any council member. Just only to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't mean any disrespect to any council person, but my perspective, when it comes to the police department, working in Walgreens and seeing what's going on in retail, I just want to piggyback on what I spoke on last week. Sure. I'm not seeing any increased police presence or involvement. I spoke to an officer. Someone came in the store. I ran out. I found an officer. He's in the barber shop talking to the barber. He was totally apathetic to what I had to say about the incident. I gave him a full description. Oh well, if we see him, we'll pick him up. I don't know what's going on in the city. They kicked the window in the Walgreens downtown, and then they come into our store and steal with impunity. We're not allowed to do anything. It's just not right. It's not right to the consumer. It's not right to my coworkers, to me. I pay my taxes. I work every day, and they just walk in. The drug problem in the city is out of control. I'm told that Adams 4 is like Kensington in Philadelphia now. You have drug addicts out there just drugging out. It's not right. I don't see the police presence that I feel there should be. Lastly, last Friday night, someone tried to break into my apartment. No police. For 20 minutes, someone was trying to get into my apartment. No police presence. No police response. So, like I said, I don't see what some others may see in their community, but I'm not seeing it in my workplace community, and I'm not seeing it in my community where I live. And on that note, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we are going to move to legislative business. Councilmember DARBY.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 24-049, Agenda 0473, an ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to increase oversight of neighborhood planning councils.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to increase oversight of neighborhood planning councils.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer it to the Community Development and Urban Planning Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Community Development and Urban Planning Committee. Councilmember Harlee.
I'm so sorry, President Congo. May I be excused, please?
Let me check one second. How many council members do we have present? We need 3 online.
We had 9 with
We have 9.
at roll calls.
Okay. We have 9. Okay. Yes, you may be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Harlee.
Yes, Mr. President. I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 24-050, Agenda 0474, an ordinance constituting amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2025 operating budget, being an ordinance to amend substitute number 1 to ordinance number 24-016.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance constituting amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2025 operating budget, being an ordinance to amend substitute number 1 to ordinance number 24-016.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that it be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer it to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee. Councilman.
That's all I have, Mr. President, and per our previous conversation, may I be excused?
Excuse me, hold on 1 second for us, please. Yes, she may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
All right, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Just 1 second.
No problem.
Resolution 24050, Agenda 0475, whereas Section 2369 of the City Code requires grants awarded by the mayor, city council, or the city treasurer in the amount of $5,000 or more within a fiscal year to be approved by resolution of City Council.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second the resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
So, Mr. President, this is, I guess it would be considered housekeeping. What we've, I think it's been about 2 terms ago, we actually made certain that we put in parameters that everyone receiving more than $5,000 had to have a resolution to accompany that type of donation. So, what is it? The Developing Next Level Achievers has already reached that mark, and they did request funds from me for an upcoming event. So I needed to have this resolution in order to donate again.
Okay, seeing no other hands raised. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy.
Yes.
Thank you. President Congo.
Yes.
7 yeas and 6 absent. Yes, 7 yeas and 6 absent.
Declared adopted.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, Mr. President. I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24045, Agenda 0469, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the city's general obligation bond, water distribution and transmission improvements, lead removal Phase 2 Project Series C of 2024 DWSRF in order to provide the funds necessary for the continuing replacements of water mains and city's distribution system, providing for the sale of the 2024 C bond to the Delaware Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, and authorizing other necessary action.
Mr. President, I move that be known as enacting clause and ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
This is a ordinance from Public Works, which essentially is looking to continue improvements to our water distribution system. So this is specifically for lead removal at the water distribution plant, and there's no fiscal impact as this is a bond.
All right, thank you. And seeing no hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
7 yeas and 6 absent.
Declared adopted.
And Mr. President, I have another ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24046, Agenda 0470, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the city's general obligation bond, 11th Street Sewage Pump Station Replacement Upgrades Screening Project, Series B of 2024 WPCRF, in order to provide the funds necessary for the replacement of a screen at the city's 11th Street Sewage Pump Station, providing for the sale of the 2024 bond to the Delaware Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund, and authorizing other necessary action.
Mr. President, I move that be noted as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
This is additional enhancements. It's really a companion piece to the first ordinance introduced tonight. This is specifically for the 11th Street sewer pump station. It's a general obligation bond. It's again continuing improvements to our water treatment center.
Thank you. Seeing no hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes,
7 yeas and 6 absent.
declared adopted.
Thank you.
Councilmember, thank you. Councilmember Bracy.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present on your behalf and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24039, Agenda 0460. An ordinance to approve and authorize an extension of the franchise agreement between Comcast of Newcastle County LLC and the City of Wilmington.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Mr. President, this ordinance authorizes the city to enter into an extension of its franchise agreement with Comcast of Newcastle County that provides Comcast for Newcastle County with a 5-year non-exclusive franchise to construct, install, maintain, and operate the cable system in the city. This ordinance also will bring in a minimum of $90,000 per year in PEG channel support. That's our public, education, and governmental channels, totaling a minimum of $450,000 over the life of the 5-year contract. And it requires Comcast to remit to the city a maximum of 5% franchise fees allowed by the Cable Act.
Thank you. And over the last couple of meetings, well, we had a CVT meeting around this. We also had a committee meeting, so I'm not going to go into detail. But thank you, Councilmember Bracy, for giving the outline of some of the highlights of this contract. And seeing no other hands raised, or Councilmember White.
Yes, Mr. President, not to have another committee meeting, but just for the record, was there minutes of that committee meeting as they relate to customer service issues?
Yes, there are.
All right.
Councilman Johnson, did you have your hand raised?
Yes. Thank you, Council President. Really, my question at this time, and again, I did raise it during committee meeting, and I did receive some feedback from Comcast. Some of the questions were answered, although I understand there are a lot of benefits. I guess my question still is about the rate increase for base consumers. I still have a question about that. I think it's what they're doing in the education front, and PEG is great. But I am still concerned about how the rates are interpreted. As you know, that is a complaint I know I often get is about rates. So I don't know if this has to go forward tonight. I still have some questions, and we'll continue to have questions even if this passes. As I think there's a way we can maybe have some competition in the city, because right now there is virtually none. We have Wi-Fi and then Verizon like a little bit. So I would like to see more in that front too, so that costs are lowered for customers throughout the city.
Yes, thank you. And I believe it was addressed during one of the meetings, but the city is definitely open to competition. We have engaged with Verizon, but they were not willing to give us the kind of customer service that Comcast was willing to do, and that our residents deserve. But we are definitely open to competition for other providers. Thank you. Councilman Johnson. Councilmember McCoy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have one question. How much of a difference from the last contract to this one will we see when it comes to how much they will actually will receive for this extension, and how we're using it for our TV station?
It depends on the subscribers, so it's kind of out of our hands. But you know, if the subscribers continue to decrease, unfortunately, you know, the amount that they give us will also decrease. There is a minimum, I believe it's $450,000. Marshall, is that correct? But it's really based on the subscribers, so it's kind of out of our hands. We really can't control that. But they did agree to a number of benefits for our residents, including free access to free Wi-Fi, access to really inexpensive Wi-Fi. I think it's $9.95 a month, and those residents who can't afford that, they have the ability to go to different hubs. I forgot what they're called, but it can go to about 5 or 6. I think it might be 9 different hubs throughout the city where they can where they have access to free Wi-Fi.
Okay. All right. I have one.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I missed the meeting. I just wanted to know whether or not was Wi-Fi actually added when it came to subscribers, or is it only just full cable?
I'm not sure.
You're talking about you said 450,000 is the minimum that they'll pay, and it's based on how many subscribers for cable, you know, that
Yes.
they receive. Has Wi-Fi been included as a subscriber for cable?
I'm not sure. Marshall, if you know the answer to that. But if not, we can follow up with you.
Okay.
We'll follow up with you after the meeting. All right, thank you. Seeing no other hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
No.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Present.
I'm going to hold this ordinance. All right. And that does conclude our legislation for this evening. Now, right now, we're going to go to petitions and communication. Councilmember White.
None at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yeah, I do. The future starts today, not tomorrow. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Other than that, nothing else, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
No items tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember Johnson, do you have a letter that you're going to read into account or that's into the record?
I don't know. Did I? Maribel, can
yes.
you assist me? I didn't get a letter or I can look on my email.
Yes.
Not.
Our clerk is going to read the letter for you, Councilman Johnson.
Oh, okay. I am pulling up now.
No, she's going to read it, so she'll take it from here.
Okay. Maribel,
Yes.
do you have the letter? My screen's not loading.
Yes, September 3rd, 2024, dear Councilman Johnson, by way of this letter, you are hereby advised that Pamela J. Scott, Esquire of Saul Ewan LLP, submitted a rezoning application on behalf of St. Francis Hospital, Inc., which a copy of the application was also forwarded to you. As you are aware, the application is submitted to the city clerk, which in turn is referred to the council member representing the affected district for submission to city council for action. In addition, please note that this rezoning request should be referred to the planning commission at the next available council meeting. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. And it's signed by the clerk, Seho.
Thank you, and Maribel, I did pull it up. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have it. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Johnson, I believe you need to make a motion.
So I need to refer it to the zoning, board.
Just make a motion to accept it into the planning commission.
Yes, at this time I would like this application to be accepted by the planning commission.
Second.
This communication has been received, recorded, and filed, and referred to the planning commission. Councilman Johnson, did you want to speak on the letter? You don't have to.
So at this time, this is a project that's been a long time in the making. So we are looking forward to having this vetted by the community and a chance for a public hearing, as there has already been community meetings on this rezoning.
Any other further comments?
No further comments.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Mills.
Yes, Mr. President. I just want to say welcome back to all the students in the city. Hope you guys have a great school year. And to all the adults, let's practice safety, not drive around the buses. I seen a bus get passed around today with the lights out flashing. So let's use caution and protect our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bracy.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Again, I would like to thank everyone who joined us for this evening's meeting. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at our office at 576-2140, 302-576-2140. I would like to thank everyone who gave public comment, and we did forward your comments to our Chief of Police. Thank you. At this time, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone.